Good evening, White Hat SEO Group. It's Gareth Dane here with Nick Stowe and Stefan Stevanovic. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Stefan.
Yeah,
right?
It's okay.
Okay, good stuff. Welcome to our very first White Hat SEO Group live session. And today we're going to be talking about keyword research. So we've already had a load of questions come through from the guys in the group. We've collated them together. What we really want is you guys to engage live with us, ask more questions, and we'll answer them as they come through. If we don't get enough questions, we've got questions to go back to. We can take it from there. We've got a lot of content to get through because we've had some great questions so far. So I'm Gareth Dane. A lot of you may know me from being in the group. Nick's the main man. He's the one who started the group and grew it to 11,000 members. There he is in the middle, rose between two thorns. And this is Stefan, who works with Nikolai and manages the group as well. So welcome, guys. Do say hello in the comments and let us know you're here. We've got Eunice at the moment. Hey, Eunice. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Eunice says, how's it going? It's going really well. I'm extremely tired at the moment. I've been working non-stop. Here's my buddy Rob, who does my marketing show with me, keeping it real live every Wednesday. Welcome, Rob. Thanks for joining us. Say hello in the comments, guys. Please, please, please ask questions. We're talking about keyword research today. So please jump on, ask your questions, and we'll endeavour to do our best to ask them. One more thing before we get started. We can have guests on this show. So if anyone in the comments wants to jump on and be a guest and talk about keyword research, please let us know and we can drop one of ourselves down. You can come and join us and become a guest on the show. So please do let us know. Howdy there, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Good to see you on, Guy. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to the main man, Mr. Nikolai Stoyanov, and he's just going to give you a brief little insight into what we're going to be talking about. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for this awesome introduction. So, hi, guys, you probably know me. My name is Nikolai Stoyanov. You can call me Nick. I've been working on expanding this group to nearly 11,000 people. As Gus said, thanks, everyone, for your activity within the group. It's really gaining some strength. This cannot make me happier and prouder, because it seems that you find some value in the group, which is the core idea of everything, which is the very reason why I started this group in the first place. So thanks. Thanks also for voting in the poll for choosing the topic a few days ago. There were a lot of votes, and keyword research was, it was a bit of a surprising winner to me, because usually people are most interested in link building, because this is by far the toughest thing, which is only to be expected, because it's the one thing that is always outside our control. But keyword research is actually an awesome topic for our first episode, because everything starts, I know that it starts, for me, everything starts with keyword research. So without you even knowing, where to begin from, meaning typing some keywords that can help your website, your business being easily found, online, and being able to sell your services, products. Let's face it, everybody needs money to live. So keyword research is the very first step of the process. I think you all agree. So awesome topic. Again, we had a lot of questions, not so many, but quite some. We have over 10 questions, I think, maybe even 15 to turn to, in case you guys are not asking live questions, but please do ask live questions, because that's what live show is all about. That's why we are here, because the best way to communicate is, eye to eye, real time. So I'm giving you to Steph, just to say a few words about himself. He's my content writer. We've been together for 2.5 years now. He's writing pretty much each and every post on Nixtool. pretty much each and every post that's been published out there for us, starting with websites like Search Engine Watch. Our pieces are linked from Search Engine Journal, many other huge websites. We even have link from GoDaddy, which is huge domain authority, 95 or 96, I think. A lot of other websites, and a huge chunk of this goes to Steph, because he's behind the keyboard all day long. So, Steph, please do say some words about yourself, and we're gonna start checking the questions next. Cheers, guys.
Hi guys, my name is Stefan. I'm with Nick for the last year and a half since we started this journey, and although it's been rough, you can see every business can thrive with enough investment, in terms of time. You don't even have to have enough money just to make it work. Just be persistent, do your job, try to learn about everything you can, and you're gonna get there. We are solid proof of that. I need to brag a little bit about us. As for me, I'm doing all the content for us, all the content for clients. Besides that, I'm doing everything else with Nick, a lot of planning. Each morning we have a chat, at least hour long. We discuss things. We talk about issues. We talk about, how to rank certain articles better. No matter how strong your website is, how many links you have, there will always be issues. You sometimes may feel that, okay, this article is too low. It's like on 10th page. It should be at least on 2nd, 3rd page. Oftentimes it comes down to content. For example, you write an article about link research, and you forget to mention Google or search engines. That is a big flaw for Google. In eyes of Google, it immediately down ranks you for several pages. And such small mistakes, although they're very small, they're very costly. So we are here to talk about this, to talk how you can make your content better, how you can research keywords better, and how you can profit from these keywords. Okay?
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, Stefan. Just quickly, guys, we've got 6 people on at the moment. Please do say hello in the comments so we know you're here, so we can greet you. And please do ask your questions as well, because we really want questions live on the broadcast and really help us. And we do have a question first off straight away from Rob Reese, who's my pal, my buddy. Rob said, how does one narrow down keywords for the make money online niche, or more targeted, since it's pretty dense? So that's a very, very big, broad question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to Nikolai.
Wow, what a start. I mean, pretty tough one. So, Rob, first of all, thanks for joining us. I'm a fan of your group, guys, you, Garrett, and the other woman, sorry, I can't remember her name.
Karen.
Karen. So I've watched you guys the other day. Awesome stuff. Not throughout the whole video, sadly, because I had some stuff to take care of, but it was an awesome first episode, I think. So great opening. So your question actually is one of the most common questions out there, especially for niches such as make money online. I haven't particularly worked in this very niche, although with keyword research and with SEO, it doesn't necessarily have to be a niche you've worked in. I mean, there are some pretty general rules that always apply. So first and foremost, never start with a keyword that everybody is pursuing. Never. I mean, as obvious as it might sound, I mean, obviously the very reason why you ask this question is because you know that it's very tough. So start there. Don't go for this keyword. It's very tough. Now, I don't know where your experience, how big your experience is in terms of SEO. I think I saw a comment where you mentioned that you're a newbie when it comes to SEO. So I'm going to try and not dive into technicalities, in this very question. So the huge advantage that every business owner has is the fact that he knows his business pretty much from top to bottom, everything. Now, this is something that no SEO expert can know. All right, that's your biggest advantage. So you know what your services are. You know what you want to make money from. So basically, you should need some technical knowledge, because we're talking about keyword research. It's pretty technical part of SEO, as many other parts, by the way. But in case you have some beginner's knowledge, you should go and try some of the tools that are available out there. But before you do this, I would recommend for everyone to have Google Webmaster Console installed on their website. And if this website has been live for at least 3 months or so, the longer the better, Google Webmaster Console will show you invaluable data, which will point you in the right direction in terms of what traffic you are already benefiting from, what keywords you are being found anywhere, somewhere. I mean, even on page 15, page 20, I think that Webmaster Console shows up to the 200 result, if I recall correctly. So if you've been live with your website for 3 to 6 months, preferably more, you will just have to enter this data, see what keywords and where on average, because those are average metrics that Google Webmaster Console is showing. You can start from there. See what you are already ranking somewhere for, which is of interest to your business, not just generally ranking somewhere. Which one of those, let's say 50 terms that you are already ranking somewhere, is of interest to you? Start from there. Then create a group of these keywords in a simple Excel file, or I prefer to work with Google Spreadsheets. It's a free service of Google. It's pretty awesome. So put them there, then copy paste them in some of those tools that can help you get started with your keyword research. One of the cheapest ones, which is pretty cool, is Keyword Finder. I think it starts from $12 per month or something. They even had a promotion back in the day for $6 per month, I think. So that's by far the cheapest and good enough tool to get you started with keyword research. I'm not using it that often because I prefer Ahrefs. I'm subscribed there either way. So obviously they have more sophisticated data, but Keyword Finder is a pretty solid tool for beginners. So paste those, let's say 10 out of 50 keywords that are of interest to you that might conversion. Don't go after pursuing traffic or rankings. What good would they do you if they don't sell your services or products? It's all about the end sale. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the profit. So with this list of... Sorry, Steph?
Putting guys on your website.
Yeah, those eyeballs that every website needs. I mean, those are the visits that the website is generating. So basically, when you put those pre-selected keywords that, for example, if you are, what is Rob's business, I guess?
So Rob works in the affiliate marketing niche, the make money online niche.
All right, so that very niche.
Yeah, product launches within that industry, on generally training on how to make money online.
All right, so I'm going to give you a example which is out of thin air. Obviously, it's not going to be a real example, but let's say your main keyword is make money online. So let's imagine that after you check your, figuratively speaking, 50 words that you are already ranking for somewhere, and you pre-select 10 of them, maybe some of them will look like this. So how to make money online quickly for free or with no investment, something like this. These are called long tail keywords.
Yeah, that was something I was going to mention specifically, was the long tail, and also the medium tail type keywords, rather than the broader, more competitive keywords that most people tend to go for straight away for traffic purposes and search volume purposes. It's a really bad idea. You want to go more towards the medium tail and the longer tail. So great example what Nick used there.
Yeah, so basically, let's say that this is one of the 10 keywords that you pre-selected in your sheet and you placed in this keyword finder, and have something in mind. And this is something which a lot of people tend to neglect. Those data, this data that you're receiving is mostly AdWords data. All right, Google Keyword Planner, the tool around which each and every tool is being created and is pulling data from, is pulling data which is from AdWords. This is the paid traffic that Google is tracking, not the organic traffic. And let me give you some food for thought. One of the most recent studies, I think it's been a few years since it's been created, because obviously it's pretty tough to invest a lot of money in doing case studies of a huge size each and every year. But one of the latest that I read said that 85% of all the clicks go to organic search and 15% go to pay-per-click. Now, I'm not even talking about trustworthiness of traffic, because people are getting more and more suspicious. Everybody can advertise in the paid channels. Everybody with a Visa card with some money in it. But what are the odds for you to be a fishy website, a fishy business, and to be ranking on top 3 in Google? That takes months, if not years, usually years for newbies. So this is something additional. I mean, the trustworthiness of organic traffic, of organic rankings, which directly benefits your business in a bit of a, I don't know, not such a direct way, as you might expect, for example, to get more clicks or more sales. But in terms of trustworthiness, brand awareness, it's one of a kind. Nothing can beat it, and I don't think that nothing will ever be able to beat it. So start with some of those really long tail keywords which are sales oriented. All right, so like the one that I suggested. Why sales oriented? Because you need to make money as fast as possible, like everybody else, So put those 10 keywords, see which one of them is the best fit when it comes to several criteria. So number one, which you should take with a grain of salt, is the traffic expectations or traffic estimation. It's paid data, it's not organic data. If you see, for example, 50 clicks, it's not clicks, 50 searches, you can safely assume that there are at least twice as many. Because I just said that organic traffic is 85%, paid traffic is 15%. And you're looking at those 15% with those 50 searches per month. And we don't even know how up to date this data is. It's probably even too old. It's probably quite irrelevant. So when I check this data, I take it with a big grain of salt, and I just use it for comparison. Okay,
yes,
just to
definitely.
see.
I agree. Just briefly, Nick, in terms of when you said that it's only paid data in terms of search volume, I'm not entirely sure that's accurate, is it? In terms of the keyword planner tool.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's accurate as well, because.
No, I mean that it's only paid searches that paid data that you're getting. It's across the board, isn't it? Not?
Yeah, we don't really know. Everything is a wild guess. I mean,
of course,
if we have to be honest, because Google is very strict when it comes to keeping everything behind the curtain. For everybody, and for one very good reason, so that nobody can take any, benefit the bad way to manipulate Google search engine and their algorithms. So that's actually for our own protection. So you search. Yeah, sure, Steph.
For example, if you wish to play a little bit to get more newbie understanding of the topic, I would also recommend the Moses Keyword Explorer. That's probably one of the best, if only good tool that Moz made. It's really user-friendly. You have 3 statistics. You have like difficulty, opportunity, and traffic. You have even colorful bars and stuff like that. And if you wish to learn more about it to test the waters, to test the market. Start with it. It has also a free option, so you can just play with it a bit. As for the volume, as the guy said, it's all approximation. We don't really know. Best way to figure out what's good volume or not is to compare it with other results in your industry. Find the hardest keyword in your industry and compare it with other lower keywords. If make money online has like 10,000 traffic, let's say, and some other keyword make money online with the benefit of blah blah. If that has 1,000, then that's 10%, and use those approximation percentages to form an opinion to start working.
Yeah.
But no matter what, always go for easier keywords, because there is no point in forcing a keyword that you cannot rank among top 10. Even if you're in top 15, you ain't gonna get any traffic from it. So what's the point? Better to have a lot of smaller, longer keywords with smaller traffic, but to be able to rank.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I just want to say this is a massive topic based on that single question that Rob's asked there. I hope Nick and myself and Stefan have been able to help in some way with regards to that. There's lots of ways and tools and techniques you can use to narrow down your keyword research to medium and longer tail keywords with high buyer intent. There's many techniques you can use and research tools, etc., to do that, but it's a massive topic. So it's now 25 minutes past 7, so we don't want to just stick on the one question, unfortunately. Because we've actually got quite a few questions coming, and one that was asked previously when we first posted the scheduled broadcast was about keyword research tools. And someone's asked the same question again in the chat. Narayana, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, says, "Can you say some tool names for keyword research free tools?" And there's absolutely tons of them, really. So, do you want me to just start with a few ideas first to get off the bat, and you guys can chip in? So, if you're talking about finding overall topics or related topics to your main niche, for example, make money online, like Rob mentioned, you can use places like forums, Wikipedia, Udemy, Reddit, the Google Keyword Planner to get overall sort of shoulder topics, shoulder niches, sub niches, related niches to your main topic. Look at the forum index, the threads. Lot of time there'll be niche topics, specific keyword phrases, Wikipedia table of contents, Reddit, as I mentioned, Udemy. If you look at some of the courses in Udemy, a lot of time the course listings in Udemy, the sections, the module sections will be keyword phrases that you can begin your initial seed keyword research off. So they're some free word tools. Then you've got within Google itself related searches. So you can do a search within Google, go to the bottom of Google, look at the related searches that Google spits out. There's tools like Suval.com, Ubersuggest, Answer the Public, Google Webmaster Tools, or Search Console as it's now known, has a under Search Analytics search queries section where you can look at the queries that you're currently ranking for, and you can order them based on the position. So look at the positions where you're ranking on page 2, 3, 4, 5, and some of them keywords you can then sort of super optimize to get further up the rankings. There's absolutely tons of tools like Google Trends correlate. Quora is great, looking for questions in Quora. A lot of the time Quora questions show up in Google on the first page, and there'll be long tail keywords, keywordtool.io. There's absolutely tons of keyword tools. So I'll just stop there in terms of the free ones. And guys, if there's any of free ones that you want to jump in and add to the mix.
Yeah, well, I don't really know about free ones because it's been quite some time since I'm doing this professionally. So free tools are a bit outside my interest, because they're usually a bit shallow, as you can expect, because obviously they need to be purchased so that their full potential is, being exposed. But a keyword finder, as I mentioned, is probably one of the ones that are really cheap and has all these necessary metrics. So they have keyword difficulty metric. Again, everything, guys, is a third-party software. All right, just take it with a grain of salt, and actually a big one, because first of all, they are all third-party tools. Second of all, they are all pulling data from Google, and we don't know whether this data from Google is up to date. We don't know whether it's the full data. Maybe they hit something for some purposes, of their corporation and everything. So, but besides this, because obviously we have no control on this, whether the data from Google is, accurate. But if we imagine that it's, accurate, then a keyword finder is a good place to start. Most Keyword Explorer has this free function of searching up to 5 keywords per day if you have a registered account, which is for free. So up to 5 phrases if you're a small business, 5 phrases per day, this equals 150 per month. That's more than enough to get you started. And by far, their best potential stays behind their keyword difficulty. To me, I mean, that's my personal opinion. That's what I'm using most each and every day for, their keyword difficulty feature and their semantic feature. So when you type in a keyword and it gives you a huge list, I think it's up to 1,000 semantically related keywords that go with your phrase. And they're in descending order. They have a score from 1 to 5 in terms of how strong the relevancy between your main term and all the other 1,000 terms is. All right. So semantic relations and keyword difficulty most is your tool. For if you want to track clicks, which is something new, I think only Ahrefs is offering it right now. I don't have any clue whether it's correct. Maybe it's just recently gone out of beta testing. I think it was in the beta version like up to 3 months ago or something like this. Again, clicks are all this data. Don't get obsessed with it. All right, just use it as a starting point, as a correlation between your pre-selected terms and the main terms, the most lucrative terms in your industry, just so you can compare and contrast, just so you have some better idea of what you can expect roughly, approximately, if you start pursuing the keyword of your choice. Everything else, we don't know hundreds of things about it, about each and every of these metrics. Keyword difficulty, expected volume, trends. Or maybe trends are correct, but trends are just measured at the scale on a scale from 1 to 100, and this doesn't give any idea about the exact number of searches or clicks. So,
and it doesn't speak about difficulty. It speaks only about volume. Whether something is going up. It usually, if something is going really up really fast, it also implies that the difficulty will be really high. So it doesn't necessarily, this is better keyword than this, it has better trend. Well, it will be more difficult. So,
it's all approximation.
I think that's a key point to remember, isn't it? None of this data is super accurate. A lot of these metrics that people look at, including like domain rating, page rating, and all that sort of stuff, is arbitrary. Not arbitrary, but is being created, obviously with best guess scenarios in mind, but it's not an ultimate estimation of how things are exactly. So just take it with a pinch of salt. In terms of keyword tools, obviously SEMrush is great for keyword research. There's Keyword Snatcher. Keyword Explorer by Ahrefs, as Nikolai mentioned, Scrapebox, SE Cockpit. There's absolutely tons of keyword tools, but I think the goal is more important than the tool, and knowing how to use it to accomplish that goal. What are you after? You're after high buyer intent, long tail keywords, medium tail keywords. What's it for? Are the informational? There's a lot that goes into thinking about your keyword research and the goals behind. For obviously the ranking is important, but yeah. So that's all. That's all I've really got to say on that. Should we take another question, Nick?
Yeah, sure. Let's move on because it's taking a bit more time. Sorry, guys, it's our very first episode. So, and the topics are very broad. I mean, keyword research is very broad. Money, make money online. The very first question that Rob asked is, I mean, it's one of the toughest niches. So a lot of things to be said. So yeah, let's move on, and we can always make a lot more videos.
Okay. Well, we've got a ton of questions in. People have been jumping on and off. So hopefully they're still on, the people who've asked the question. Guys, if you are here, please just say hello in the comments so we know you're here. We'll pop your comments up on screen. We'll say hello. We just like to get a bit of engagement on the video. So Ram Babu, sorry, let me just ask this question first. Because Sampath has asked, what is a SEO long-term strategy, sir? I mean, this is a keyword research video, and a long-term SEO strategy, again, is a massive, massive subject. So we're not going to be able to cover that on the video at the moment. So I just wanted to show that up. So thanks for your question, Sampath, but it's a bit broad. Okay, so here's a question from, sorry, excuse me, my printer just popped up there. Here's a question from Ram Babu, who says, how to do keyword strategy for a website client doesn't give for. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Client's objective is to earn good qualified traffic organically. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really understand what that question is. Ram, can you repeat that question, try and clarify that? Did you understand that, Nick?
Not really. Maybe it's a matter of refusing access to the website and at the same time wanting more traffic. I don't know, probably without giving full access to such data such as Webmaster Console data or something like this, which is really crappy, because if there is no trust between the SEO expert and the business owner, we can't really talk about any kind of success in near or more distant future, really. Everything starts with trust. Yeah,
most definitely. I agree with that.
You should bail on it. If somebody doesn't give you data, you simply cannot do your job. You know, it's there's no point in you starting some job you cannot finish, taking guys' money if there is no perspective in that deal. You know, do jobs which you think you can do good, which can increase your reputation and build your SEO company at the end of the day. Yeah, run away, as Gary said.
Yeah, thumbs up.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, most definitely agree with that. So Eunice says, how can you use Ahrefs for an effective keyword research?
Well, there's one thing that is always the biggest problem with approaching tools as your starting point when you're doing keyword research, and that's that everybody else is doing the very same thing. Now, I would suggest I can't remember the last time I started a search for a client or for myself with some tool. It's probably been, I don't know, a year and a half maybe. That's the time since I took Brian's course, actually, back in November 2015, I think. And the whole picture changed for me. And it's not about using those places where everybody else starts from. It's all about clarifying to yourself what you need to accomplish first for yourself and for your business. And as I mentioned before in this live session, there is no better man than yourself to create a list with all the services that you are offering, all the questions that your offline clients, let's call them like this, figuratively speaking, the ones that are coming to your office, for example, are most often asking you. All right, so what are these questions? Those are their pain points. So these pain points, you can bet your head that those are the online pain points as well. So start with creating your own list with your services because obviously you want to be ranked for something that you can offer, not just any type of keyword or key phrase. Then the pain points of your clients. What are the most common questions? For example, I've been working with businesses that are more than 10 years in the business and just recently created a website. And as strange as it might sound, there is a ton of value in conversing with these guys on a live chat or something, just to ask them, okay, guys, so what is your business all about? What are your most favorite, most desirable clients? What is the profile of this client? What are the main issues that your customers are coming to you with? All right. So those are great starting points. They won't give you a lot of searches when you place them in any tool. That's for sure, because they will most probably be long tails or at best medium tails. But they will help you sell better and more of your products. So start with, I'm not saying that you shouldn't type in a phrase and start with it. Of course, you can mix things up. You can do some searches. You can create a spreadsheet before or at the same time or after you're running those searches in some tool. But mix things up. Don't start with the tool and stay within the tool or within a group of tools, any group of tools. Because this is the place where everybody else, especially professionals that are much more into it, the SEO aspect of things than yourself, you can't beat those guys, even a mediocre SEO guy. That's his thing. That's what he awakes with, each day. So make a combination between using those tools the regular way, type in some phrases, check their volumes, check their difficulty, etc. Maybe clicks if you're using Ahrefs, and your data that you put offline data that you created out of thin air just by using your brain and your knowledge as a professional, and Google Search Console data. That's always great. That is data that nobody else but you have access to. And this is this is keywords that you are already having some, rankings for. Maybe not low-hanging fruits. Maybe they are somewhere between page 8 and 15, but you are there for them, and they're being shown with some data to you. Exclusive data, only to your eyes. So combination between those three things: regular approach, typing the phrase, thinking about using your brain as a business owner, knowing the pain points of your clients and the products they are most, they're mostly interested in, and Google Search Console. These three in combination.
Here is another tip which you can go with. If you already found several keywords that may seem lucrative, you can go back to Google, type them in one by one, and see the top results. For example, if you get top results such as Moz, Search Engine Watch, Search Engine Land, the biggest website in your industry, and none of these articles has likes, none of these articles has links, they're like really, really shallow, that means that Google is yearning for new results. He's giving advantage to content that is good only because of the domain authority. He's giving any content with presumption that, okay, it was made by a big website, it's probably good. But the page itself is not ranking, and this is where you can penetrate. Also, the results where there are Quora answers, Yahoo answers, all of that. If Google has to go to Yahoo or Quora to get its answers, and there is no better content on the internet, whether we are talking about videos or articles, this is another thing you can penetrate. There's simply not enough ultimate guides, not enough good content that can Google use to present to end users. So this is some basic know-how. I'm done. Next.
Yeah. What about Gaz? I would love to hear Gaz's answer.
I'm leaving you guys to talk for a longer period of time so I can have a pearl within a minute. Like one smart thought for an hour.
That sounds good to me. That sounds really good. We got a bit of delay there, feedback. I don't know what it was. It was coming through someone's speakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've covered quite a bit there. I think the key point here is if you're working for clients, a lot of SEOs will go for, well, not a lot, sorry, I'll rephrase that. Some SEOs will go for, and businesses will only go for volume, high volume keywords, like make money online, for example, like what Rob mentioned. And he was talking about trying to drill it down to more granular buyer intent keywords. So it's important that if you are doing SEO for clients, that you look at these longer tail keywords that have got more buyer intent within them, because just having search volume on its own and traffic is no good, because your traffic stats may look great, but it's not going to, what are the conversions going to be like for the client? Because that's, at the end of the day, is what they want. They want conversions, they want leads, they want sales. So target your keyword research. Use these broad topics as a starting point, but target your keyword research to getting more granular and more targeted towards buyer intent keywords. Unless, of course, you're doing keyword research for informational purposes, where you want to rank a blog article on a specific topic to increase your authority in the industry. That's a different kettle of fish altogether. You want to go sort of medium tail and long tail. And we haven't even spoken about LSI keywords, latent semantic indexing keywords, yeah. So Nick Stefan wrote an excellent article on LSI, which was really good. So go and check that out on his blog. But yeah, I think we covered quite a bit there. So we've got 15 minutes left. We've got another great question from Sampath, who says, does spun content still work in Google? Sampath, it's keyword research we're talking about, mate.
Can I add something else?
Yeah.
By the way, guys.
Go ahead.
Here's another thing most people get wrong. Keyword research is great. It's a great concept, and you should usually do it. But here's the issue. Guy creates a website, for example, whatever, he's selling pools, and the next day he goes online. Okay, I wish to rank for sell pools online. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Start from smaller keywords. It's all about business. SEO just helps you with business, with doing business. Start with smaller keywords. Get noticed any place. Just get among top 5 for first. Get noticed by people. Get noticed by clients. Provide them good service. Let them make reviews. Let them invite you to your blog. Get links from others. Become a reputable company within your industry, within your niche. After you've done that, you can go a little bit higher, better keywords, more traffic. And once your domain as a whole gets a lot of authority, once you become one of the biggest players within the niche, you build your brand, you can rank for whatever you want. As simple as that, but go for small victories,
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and I'd echo that. But at the same time, the keywords you mentioned there, like sell pools online, that's got buyer intent to it to a certain degree, but that's not the type of buyer intent keyword I was specifically talking about, for example. So long tail keywords that are buyer intent focused, four-word phrases upwards make up the brunt of the searches online. So you're not talking about head keywords like 1-2 word phrases. They're a lower percentage of the total overall searches online. So if you go for those longer tail keywords that are buyer focused, usually they're less competitive in organic, less competitive and lower volume in terms of the amount of searches each month. But the more of those you go for, the more money you're going to make online, the more sales you're going to make for your client, the more leads you're going to get, etc. But something like sell pools online or sell tools online, that's. I just wanted to clarify what I was talking about to what you mentioned, Stefan.
One final sentence, if I may, as well on this topic. So basically, there is a buyer cycle. Let's call it like this. So it goes from your initial searches when you're just searching the net, for some, starting points where you can buy this product from. Then you go through tweaking your search phrases, search queries as they go medium tail oriented. For example, you start with laptop. You want to buy laptop. You start with laptop Lenovo, for example. Then you go deeper and more specific. And then the long tail is at the end of your buying cycle. This is where you want to get people's attention, all right? This is when they're prepared to get their wallets out of their pockets and actually pay you and buy this product from you. Don't pay attention to those guys that are occupying the head terms. Head terms are those short 1 and 2 word phrases, the head term. Then the medium is, for example, 3 to 4, and the long tail begins, figuratively speaking. Of course, there are some, different scenarios depending on the niches, but 4 or more keywords is usually considered long tail. So the long tail is at the end of the buying cycle. There, people have already decided that they want this product, and they're just looking for the right place to do so, all right? And this is where you come in play with your website, which might never rank for any of the head or medium tail phrases, but you are there to collect their money. This is what matters at the end of the day for a businessman.
Good point, Nick.
Yeah, good point, mate. So let's see if we've got any more questions there, Nick, to take on. Rob says, what are negative keywords? So that's specific to PPC, really.
Yeah.
And they're keywords that you don't want to have your advert show up for in paid search or paid advertising. So, for example, if you're trying to sell a product, you don't want your keyword to show up if it contains the word free.
Yeah.
You might not want your keyword to show up if it contains the word cheap, if you're selling high-end products. So negative keywords are just keywords that you want to exclude your ads being shown for in PPC.
Exactly.
So guys, I'm just running through the questions here now and see what we've got here. We haven't got any more live questions really at the moment, so we can go off the agenda, Nick, if you wish.
All right, so let me pick something, guys, from the sheet that we
I've got them all written down here live on the agenda, so I can just pop them up if you wish.
All right, so just pop any of them in the remaining minutes, and we're going to try and answer them.
Okay, so one question we did have from someone in the group was ranking for keywords with new content when he already has a page that ranks for that keyword. Should he create new content, or should he update his content that he already has that's ranking?
Yeah, excellent question. By the way, this is something that we are testing at a larger scale in the past 2 weeks with Nixto, actually. So basically, we were doing some A/B testing with our underperforming content. So basically, all our content is usually at least 1,000 words. Most often 2,000 or more, But we have some pieces of content which are great in terms of almost anything. I mean, even imagine we went to such lengths such as TF-IDF analysis. Those are the keywords that are supposed to be there within a specific search so that you're having better chances of ranking higher. So we are using a tool for this purpose. It's you can search it within the group with 25% discount for all our members. It's called texttools.net with a dash, text-tools.net. It's a TF-IDF analysis tool. Very cool, very powerful, gives you data. It's rather simplistic in its looks, but it's pulling data for you which you otherwise will never ever be able to get your hands on. So we were trying to better the performance of some of the articles that we have that are, I mean, some of them are next to 3,000 words. And when we check Google Webmaster Console data, we saw that they're barely ranking for about 20 to 30 phrases, and they have on average positions between page 10 and page 20. This doesn't make any sense. Our domain authority right now, according to Ahrefs, is about 50. Now that's, and most, I don't trust most domain authority, but because everybody is paying attention to this, we have 40. So we are way out of the amateur league, and it makes no sense. So we started making changes within this content, not in terms of its length, but in terms of, I will hand this to Steph for the remaining 5 minutes, but just to say that we were sprinkling some terms, we were tweaking some of the subchapters in terms not only of adding more words that we might be missing and Google wants to see, but also in terms of what this content discusses. All right, the direction of this content, the in-depth of this content, not the length, not the LSI keywords. We were there, and still the results were bad. We even had links to some of our pieces. We are being linked from Search Engine Journal. We're being linked from 25 other websites with average domain rating of 50. And we are ranking on average on page 10. We have absolutely zero penalties. I know this, I'm doing this professionally. Our website is clean, despite the negative SEO attack, which I'm cleaning on a daily basis. It's dying off already. So, Steph, over to you for the minutes, how we actually decided to go down that path of improving this content so that it starts ranking. This is connected to the question, so that this content starts ranking for more keywords and we don't have to create new content. We just want to improve the current content, which is already performing to some level. In our case, not such a good level, but we also bettered some of the pieces that were performing good and they started performing great. But over to Steph, because we have 5 minutes or so.
It's very, very interesting, though.
Yeah, very much.
Here is how Google see keywords. It sees keywords within clusters. Let's say cluster of word. Let's imagine it as a circle. You wish to rank for keyword research. That's okay. Your smaller cluster will be 10 keywords. So if you wish to rank for keyword research, you need to have at least keywords mentioned such as Google, search engine, keyword research, and that's the minimal requirement. After that, it goes bigger and bigger. After that, you need to have 20 keywords, 50, and this is all important because, for example, you might have some phrase. Let's say you use slang, and you mention cool within your text. And each time when you overspam some keyword, it indicates to Google that your text is actually about something else. It leads Google to some other site. So in order for you to make sure that Google understands what your content is all about, you need to find your keyword and start using all these keywords that are closely related to it. This is why we are, as of late, using this tool. The tool is really amazing. It's from our now friend. Nick, can you share the name of the tool in chat, please?
Yeah, sure. It's texttools.net with a dash, but I think that this chat is only for us to use. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, that's fine. But if you pop it in, I'll just copy and paste it into the live.
Sure thing.
Anyway, what we did analysis with this tool. We took our main keyword and we took like let's say first 50 keywords within the cluster, first 50 most important tools. We didn't overspam, but we used them within the text. And given that these are closely related keywords, it all made sense. You know, you can just place it wherever you wish. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be repeated 10 times, but it's necessary to be there so that Google understands your text better.
Yeah, sorry for jumping in. It's very important what you just said. It's not about density. TF-IDF analysis has nothing to do with keyword density. It's not about repetition. It's not about percentages of mentions of those keywords. It's about whether they are there or they are not. They have to be there if you want to have higher chances That's correlation, guys. That's not necessarily causation, but it has a decent correlation with you being ranked higher. Of course, this is the latest thing. This is the last thing to consider. First of all, you have to consider the quality of your content, the in-depth, the length even. You have to consider bettering your own page performance, making sure that you don't have any technical issues within your website, at least not serious ones, and having as good, as higher domain authority as possible. And if you have all those things and you are still being underranked, then maybe the answer for you to start ranking better lies within these LSI keywords, TF-IDF, semantic research analysis that you might be lacking. Not totally, because you're already ranking somewhere decently, like let's say position 12th. But you lack something, you lack the final ingredient. And this might very well be it. It might not. But if you have done your homework the right way and you have absolutely no clue why you are underperforming in many cases, we know this because we tested it within Nix2. It just took us to sprinkle some of the missing semantically related keywords to our copy, and it jumped. Yeah.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. I'm going to check that text tools out. Sounds really good. Thank you for that. Should you want to take one more question before we go? All
right, sure.
Okay, so we've sort of covered this one. Is it worth optimizing for low volume keywords, say 100 or below? My opinion is yes.
Yes, by all means. By all means, because first of all, you don't know if this volume is correct in the first place. And even if it's correct, it's usually pulled out from, AdWords data or something like this. It's not necessarily organic data. Maybe Garrett stands a valid point by saying that it's not purely paid data, but it's definitely not organic data by its nature. So go for these terms if they have good sales buyer intent and can sell better your products.
Yeah.
Don't be don't get rid of those keywords. Just try them out. Usually it won't involve a lot of work because they are going to be low-hanging fruits, long-tail keywords. So it would take just a decent article probably and maybe a couple of links for you to know better.
Yeah, definitely. 100% agree with that. What about you, Stefan?
You should also consider the trend, because in this case, it's also very important to think where will that keyword be in 2 years. For example, me and Nikolai had a discussion the other day about Penguin article. We had a Penguin article which we wanted to boost a little bit, and we were discussing about future of the Penguin. For example, now it has really decent, traffic, but here's the deal. Google is constantly adding new algorithms, new systems, RankBrain, Fred. There is a chance that Penguin as a SEO-related term will cease to exist in next 2-3 years. Perhaps we will get Fred 2, Fred 3, or RankBrain 2, RankBrain 3 as a keyword. It will stop dropping. So you also need to think, okay, perhaps this is keyword with very small volume, but perhaps it will rise after some time. No?
Yeah, agree with that, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
So a carry on from that just quickly, based on the same question that someone asked previously, was, so based on that, should I just go for high volume keywords with medium competition? And my thought on that was no. And plus the competition indicator you're talking about is to do with PPC,
PPC,
not organic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you got anything to add to that at all, or?
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. So first and foremost, that's paid search stats, metrics. It doesn't have any direct relation to organic SEO. So high volume, medium competition is usually pretty tough. I know that we're talking about PPC right now, but it's pretty much correlated in most cases with organic SEO scenario, So high volume is never a good idea to start pursuing unless you're a decent authoritative website already. So for example, even for Nix2, I'd rather shy away from those for now. I don't think that we are prepared to attack them unless there are some, blank spots, meaning that, for example, in the top 10 results, we see 1 or 2 results that are neither ranking because of their domain authority nor because of a lot of links, but they're still there, which means that they're probably ranking because of their content. And content, we can beat. Yeah. We can beat content. And we can do links as well. And those couple of websites, for example, don't even have links. They have pretty much like ours or lower authority. So we would go for them. But generally speaking, high volume, avoid it. Maybe at the end of your journey, when you're a huge brand, you can afford this luxury. But for starters, it's never a good idea for high anything to be a part of your strategy. Medium and low. But those medium and low will most probably have high in their buyer intent, in their.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. And sort of carry on for that is how to properly gauge the keyword difficulty of a specific keyword. Now, we've spoken about the metrics and how they're not entirely accurate, but is there a system or a process that we can follow, Nikolai and Stefan?
Yeah, by all means, there are the usual suspects, in your keyword difficulty analysis or keyword research analysis in general. So basically, that's the eyeball phase, first of all. The eyeball phase means that you should use your own human eyes, to go through the top 10, or if you're a nerd about it, top 20 results and see what their content is all about, how long it is, how useful it is to you as an average user. Or you will be more than an average user because you will probably be within this niche. Unless those are your clients, then you'll probably be doing this for the first time. But still, use your human eye to judge, to estimate the level of the content, the usefulness of the content, the length of the content, the on-page factors. So whether this page has decent on-page, the most important things here are the ones that are closest to your mind: title, meta description. Maybe you can check with some LSI tools to see whether they are doing decently. Texttools.net for TF IDF analysis. I'm betting my head that they won't be doing that well in comparison to you if you start using this tool. Step number 3, link profile. By all means, ranking signal number 1. Officially, according to Google, they very rarely admit something. This is one of the very little things that they, decided to say that links is number 1, ranking signal content is number 2, rank brain is number 3. So whether they have links to their pages, Google ranks pages, guys. Google doesn't rank websites. So keep this in mind from now on. That's a very common mistake. You are ranking with your pages, not with your domain. Yes, these pages are a part of your domain, but they are the ones that are getting ranked. So check.
We lost you there for a second, Nikolai, just for the last.
Yeah. So what was the last thing you heard, guys? Sorry for that.
It was just literally the last 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, check the links to those pages. Check whether they are check mostly the do follow links, because only they matter to your rankings and to their rankings in this case, because you're reverse engineering the competition in this scenario that we're discussing right now. So check how many of them they have, but most importantly, what quality they are, what sources they are coming from. Again, only the do follow part. If they have tons of no follow links, even from higher authority domains, they don't have any direct impact. Right now, maybe in future Google will start increasing the ranking power of no follow links, but right now no follows are not passing any link juice, and thus they don't help your rankings. And domain authority, this is step number 4. So the page strength, the page authority, which is the links pointing to the page, and the overall domain authority. So if you see pieces of content that are nothing special, their own page is not perfect, their links pointing to their pages are not that powerful, but they are there for some reason in the top 10. Your best bet, and you will probably be right, is because of their domain authority. Again, if you start reading Google patents, or stuff like this, it's gonna be in the field of, not causation but correlation. But still, correlation is pretty strong. So, for example, search engine land, search engine watch, search engine journal. I've seen multiple cases, guys. I'm seeing them on a daily basis because we are creating on a daily basis new stuff for Nix too, and it's our own niche, the SEO niche. There are many cases in which, this is not correct, but also many cases in which they don't have anything else but their domain authority, and still they're occupying the top of the SERP.
Yeah. Seeing that. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, folks, sure. That's the end of the show, episode 1 of White Hat SEO. Thank you very much for coming on and joining us. We do appreciate it. Thank you for all your questions, your likes, your interaction, your comments. Absolutely brilliant. We've it's gone better than we initially expected it to. Yeah, we've had a lot of interaction. Hopefully, our answers and responses to your questions and comments have been useful and valuable. This is a massive topic, keyword research. We could literally split keywords research down into several shows, no doubt, and go through the whole process. So we have to be fairly brief with the answers from the questions. So, but thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'll hand you over to Nick for some final farewell words.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for organizing this very first episode, and for all the episodes to follow. Hopefully, it's going to be a great series of episodes from now on for us, even better ones. So Gus is the main guy who is behind the whole organization regarding this show. So thanks again in person, in front of the audience.
No problem at all.
We couldn't have done it without you, mate. So thanks, guys, for all your questions. Not only today, not only yesterday and the day before in the comment sections of the group, but for your overall activity in the group. This group is that cool because of you. Of course, we are trying to benefit you guys on a daily basis, but if you aren't there, if you aren't the way you are, meaning active, and being interested in increasing your knowledge, regarding SEO and digital marketing in general, nothing of this that is happening today with this very first live show would have happened. So thank you all again. Some final thoughts from Steph, and we're going to say goodbyes.
Yeah, I basically also wish to thank you all, guys. Hopefully it's going to be even bigger. The next time we will be better for you. So that's that. Hopefully we're going to help you earn more money.
Yeah, we're doing our best to help you guys. And stay within the group. Make sure that you follow our next announcements for the next episode of this series. And so over to Gus for the final words, and we're finishing up for today.
Yeah, brilliant. Hang on, we got good one, shave. Good one. No, I never shave. I do trim it. I never go down to the bone razor ever. Thank you for that. Or is that an SEO thing? Yeah, it may well be, mate.
Awesome, Gary. Awesome question, mate.
Yeah, thank you for that.
It's good that you haven't seen us below waistline.
Yeah. Or in our worst days, because
we're not actually wearing any trousers from There's no point, is there? You know what I mean? You only see him from the top.
Of course.
And Gary said, if I grew a beard, I'd look upside down. That may well be true, mate. That may well be true. We appreciate you sticking on. Gary was being on from the beginning, as is Ram, as is Rob, and Eunice was on there as well from the beginning. Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We really do appreciate it. This has been our first episode. It's one of those things. I'm quite used to live now, so I'm a little bit more comfortable with it. But these guys, this is their first time on live, and I thought they'd done brilliantly. And we're only going to get better and better at it with this show. We're going to discuss more topics hopefully we'll probably try and reduce the questions down so we can go a bit more in depth into things, because as you've noticed, the topics are quite broad. But keep the suggestions coming, keep the questions coming, keep engaging on the posts that we post into the group with regards to when the shows are coming and the topic suggestions. And guys, just keep joining us, and hopefully we're providing awesome value for you. Other than that, I'd like to say goodbye. I'm going to have some food. We'll see you again soon. Take care, folks. Bye.
Bye, guys. You're awesome. Bye.